Bruce, Charlie Coyle has the bad play on the leads to the Columbus goal, but then he rebounds well. What do you think of his game tonight?
I thought he was good. Obviously, it's not a play we were, at the time we wanted to go back. I thought in the second period we started doing a little bit of that, gave them some life by not keep playing north, playing behind them. But listen, all year we're a resilient group. We talk about focusing on the next shift, or if it's a bad game, the next game. I think the guys have been very good at that, trying to stay in the moment and moving on. Clearly he wanted to atone, and he did. Obviously Marcus made some great plays, but he had to finish them. So secondary scoring, something we need. We lacked at times this year. We seem to have found it now. It's really helped us. The timing of it's been terrific. And he was a big part of that tonight, so very happy for him. He's a hard-working guy, and like I said, happy they got rewarded.
Tim?
Two trade deadline acquisitions, Johansson and Quayle obviously was there on the game winner. But what's that been like seeing their chemistry in person?
Well, it's starting to develop. Obviously, that second goal is a all-world play and shot ready. Charlie. We've talked about Marcus, right? He had an injury here early with us, then he had 6, so he hasn't had time to really develop a lot of that. Practice time's limited down at the end of the year, so he's got to do it on the fly. They all made a great play. If you go back to the start of it, Dant wins a puck on the wall, Charlie outlets to Marcus, he flips it out. Dant stays on side, so not only for a coach and any team that plays the way we do, we like to see offense being rewarded with good defensive play, good structure. So that's even it's great. Really a great video teaching point for young guys that come in here. How they were in good spots, they won a puck, and then your skill takes over at the other end.
Fluto? And then Dupont.
Bruce, on both those passes by Marcus, for him to be able to process what's coming next and to see Charlie available, what is he tapping into that he can make those plays?
Well, that's his vision, right? His hockey IQ. I think it's what's made him a good player over the years, right? He's got pace to his game. He can separate. Real good first stride. He actually shoots the puck very well. He hasn't done a lot of it here, but I think he's got a real good shot. But his vision, his passing is his go-to. So trying to find the right guys to play with. You saw it the first game with Krejci and DeBrusk. It was more of a line rush game. Playoffs, unfortunately, some of that goes away. But tonight he was there and he made the plays when he had to. So that's just a God-given ability to see the ice and have the timing to know where the guy's gonna, like a quarterback throwing to a receiver in motion, right? Where they're gonna be, where to put it in his wheelhouse. And I mean, the last one, still got to get it under a stick, through a leg, to on his tape by Bobrovsky, who, as we saw, is very athletic with some of the saves he made tonight. So that one looked easy, like a simple backdoor pass, but I think he really had to thread it, and he did.
Dupes, third row to the left.
Bruce, I'm not sure. It looked like you lost Krejci earlier in that period in the OT, and then Heinen is on that line and not Wagner. What were the factors going into all that?
Krejci left. He took a hit from Nash, and then they were looking at him it was late, I think late in the third. So going into overtime, we were short of forward. So Heinen goes up because just the domino effect. I think we double shifted Coyle the first time through, moved Pasta up. So I think he had maybe DeBrusk and Heinen, then we had Wagner and Johansson, so it was just in between. It was just a little bit of moving the pieces around. We left the Corrales line together, and it was basically their turn at that time in overtime. We certainly looked for certain matchups, but again, it was just a product of being down a man.
Ty? And on that front, have you talked to Krejci yet? Is he going to be okay? What's your read on that so far?
I have not talked to him. He didn't finish the game. We saw that. I would rule him as day-to-day for now. First, someone said to me, is he in pro? No, he's not. It's not a concussion. He got hit. And he left the game. And by the time that he was available to come back, the game's over. So we'll see how he is in the morning. Hopefully I have an update for you then if it's anything more serious than day-to-day.
Let's talk about significance of winning game one. I mean, you look at last series. You lost game one, still won the series, but sure nice to win game one, isn't it?
It is, because I thought we played well enough to win. I thought we were clearly the better team in the first period. The residual effect of the emotional win in game 7, they had time off. That can go either way. Usually it's hard to find your game when you have that much time up the intensity level. I believe it'll help them in the long run, obviously, with the rest to get to heal. So we tried to take advantage of that early. I don't think we had much puck luck, to be honest with you, on the front of the net early. He made some big saves. They got some puck luck. We stuck with it. I think every game is important, but when you play well, and if we had a lot, not gone our way tonight, you're going to be a little hard on yourself, because one, we felt that maybe I don't want to say gave away, because that's disrespectful, but one, that we were the better team. You don't win, so those are always tough. But like you said, we lost game one. We won the series against Toronto. Last year we won game one against Tampa, round two, and we didn't win the series. So for me, it's one game. You turn the page tomorrow, take the good, work on the bad, and hopefully you're ready to go for game two, and it'll be just as good.
And you talked about Charlie, but how cool for a hometown boy to get the game tying goal and then the game winning goal.
Well, his buddies is probably expecting to get a hat trick next game. That's the problem. But listen, he's got to be excited. He's been I think in Minnesota they didn't have much luck in terms of getting to the second round, so he's probably excited. He's advancing. Now you're at home. Now you're the hero of the game. So I think it's awesome. Good for him. Great story. Hopefully Wagner's next.
Sean?
Coach, over here, Coach. You used the word a few minutes ago, resilient, and we hear that a lot in the room as well. What is it about this team that has that resilience permeate through the room from game to game? As you said, went down 2-1 tonight. No one panicked. Just kept plugging away and had the confidence that it has. Well,
I think it starts with our leadership group. You go back to their most successful season with that core group. They were down 2-0 at home to Vancouver. They came back. They won a Stanley Cup. They know what it takes. They know what it takes. It's not the end of the world to have things not go your way right away. You have to work hard to correct it, play the right way. So I credit it all to the guys in the room. As a staff, we've read off them, so we try to be the same way. Listen, of course you get upset, something doesn't go your way, when we're not playing the right way, and then we move on. We address it. Hey, let's get back the way we need to play. And I just think it's the guys that go over the boards, they start that process again. Those guys that are going over the boards are generally the Bergies, the Kretches, the Charas, and then the guys that snowballs from there. They the rest of the guys, soldiers kind of fall in line, and off you go.
Take two more.
Butch, kind of parlaying off of that, talking about the secondary scoring. 7 of the last 8 goals have come from those bottom 6 guys. So if those soldiers are doing those jobs, what does it do for those guys who are the leaders on the team?
Well, they're appreciative because it's a team game. At some point, we expect the Pasternaks, the DeBrus, the guys that are scoring during the year, the wingers, they'll find their game, get going. Some of that's power play related. Usually that helps you, and tonight we had some good looks. That's where you hope that the balance comes later, because typically the secondary scoring aren't going to score every night. That's why they're secondary scorers, right? Because they're not guys that do it every night. So far they have, the last few. We talked about it here. I think any good Stanley Cup, the caliber team has to have it at some point. We're getting it. We need it, and like I said, when the other guys fall into place, that's when you really become dangerous. And that's obviously our hope, is that the guys that were scoring during the year on a consistent level will get back to that level, and the secondary guys will pitch in when they need to. They're still doing, look at the penalty kill tonight. Great job by those guys in the bottom of the line. Not only scored, they killed, there was a 50% power play going into this game for Columbus, and we killed every one. So they did a hell of a job in that area too. So not only did what they always do well, and they pitched in scoring, so good for us.
Thanks, everyone.